button. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the War on Dad Bods podcast, where dads get stronger, dads' lives get longer, and dads' dreams come true. Not necessarily dads, but any busy guys that are dedicated and want to get this done. To the dads listening right now, imagine being out of shape. Imagine being exhausted and feeling like you're letting everyone down around you. Now, imagine being unstoppable. Well, today we're going to talk to a man who made that leap. Brad, we're here with Brad Sevin. Brad, how you doing, man?
Doing well, man. How are you?
I'm great. A little background on Brad. Brad joined the war on dad bots. How long ago was it, Brad?
A little over a year ago.
Oh, really? It's been over a year now.
Yep.
Brad and Ralph have not missed a single class, and you are up to, let's see how many total classes. 274 classes. That's amazing.
Yes, agreed.
Well, I want you to tell the whole story of, how it went, how it started, how it's working for you. What's the origin story? Take us back to what life was like before you started the program. What struggles were you facing as a dad? What struggles physically? What struggles mentally?
So we met at the beginning of last year, I think, for the first time. So uh, that was 2 years after my divorce. Um, so health-wise, I had never really considered myself an athlete. There was only two times in my life that I'd really gotten in shape. One was after a long-term breakup, and the other was immediately after my divorce. So a couple of years later, I had already started to put the weight back on from my post-divorce get in shape. Um, and mentally, I was still navigating the waters of being a single father and raising the kids but alone in my in the household by myself. Um, Really, I had kind of gotten to the point where being on this earth as long as possible was my goal. I wanted to really see my kids grow up and be there for them, and I knew that incorporating a healthy lifestyle was key to that. I had followed programs to get quick results in the past, but those results weren't sustainable, and I was really just looking for a way to be healthy without a finish line, just to live a healthy lifestyle. And that's kind of when we met.
Yeah, so you decided that you wanted to live a long time. That's important that people have a decision, have a clear outcome in mind.
Yeah.
What was the breaking point? Like most guys don't make the leap. Was there a specific moment that made you realize you needed to change? Like when was enough enough? What finally pushed you to commit?
So my biggest rock bottom moment obviously was my divorce. I mean that was the real big turning point in my life. It kind of spurred this journey I'm still on of self-discovery and self-improvement. But I guess my mini breaking point after I had met you, you and I had some conversations about joining your program, and I was still kind of on the fence about investing time and money into myself. But the last time I had lost weight in this kind of torch the boats mentality, I got rid of all my clothes that I had, shrunk out of.
Nice.
So around the time we talked, I was starting to get a little snug in those small clothes. And I knew it was either I was going to live uncomfortably or invest in a new wardrobe. And I didn't want to do either one. So that's really what helped me commit to you.
Yeah, I was just looking at Facebook and one of our guys, Jonathan's like, yeah, man, the worst part about the program is having to buy new clothes. I was like, that's kind of a reward, it works better with women, but that's kind of a reward.
Right.
So, all right. So then you signed up and you got started in the early days. Starting something new is always a challenge. So, honestly, was this program hard at first? What were the first few workouts like? What surprised you?
So it is a challenging program, but there was a lot more to like for me. One of the reasons why I connected with you, I never considered you to be your prototypical, meathead coach that I had met in the past. Your journey is really inspiring. You did a lot of retreats, a lot of traveling when you were younger, and I kind of look to that as what I'm going on right now, and it's just in a different way. I'm trying to discover who it is that I am. So I instantly had that connection with you, and you connect that into the workouts. The physical part is great, the training is great, but there's a lot of conversation and teaching in there about how to be a better dad, how to be a leader. You incorporate meditation and breath work into the workouts. So to me, that's what really stood out. the physical was there was a lot of variety, and you never knew what to expect every day. But on the other hand, they were always very structured. You compile a lot of physical activity in 30 minutes, but you make it like you're working out with a friend or group of friends. There's conversations, there's learnings, there's lame dad jokes worked in there. Um, so
Well,
it made working out fun for me. For a guy that has had trouble incorporating this into his lifestyle, you made it fun, and that's what really stood out to me.
yeah. Um, yeah, if it's not fun for me, it's not fun for you guys. So I got to, be in there making myself laugh. And and it's not an interactive class. It's just it's recorded and it's live. But these guys roll out of bed. They're barely awake. We're not talking back and forth. They don't have to engage at all. I think some guys get confused with that. They just roll out of bed or they just plug on a recording and they just do it.
Yep.
So you never missed a workout. Only a handful of guys have done that, and only you and Ralph have done it over this long, long period of time. There's a non-negotiable mindset that you have. How do you make it non-negotiable despite everything else that's going on when you have three kids at the same time? Three boys.
Yeah, three young boys. So I've had the luxury of working through two programs in the past that I was highly committed to that I saw results. So I know what a commitment and consistency with workouts can get you. I've already seen it work. The difference with your program, it's not a start to finish program. It is an ongoing part of your life that you incorporate. I'll share an example. So the first obstacle that I faced in your program, I went with my family to Disney World a couple of months ago, and as much as I wanted to, work getting the workouts in Disney World with the three boys was a bit challenging. But when I came home, I was so inspired to just get on track immediately that I did 2 a days. I think I knocked out 5 workouts in the course of 3 days just to make sure I could get up on Monday and get back on the program. That's not something that I had with the last two programs, but I really believe it's I've adopted this lifestyle ongoing kind of mentality that, hey, look, this isn't something that's going to get me to a certain point where I'm going to be done. This is the way I live now. I'm living a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, it's sustainable. It's only half an hour, and it's not like these are grueling workouts. They're all a little bit different. They're all a little bit challenging in different ways, but they're doable. And they're over in 30 minutes. How hard could it be?
Yep. Oh yeah. It's not a huge commitment, but those 30 minutes are everything.
Well, you were talking about the results you get from this program. Tell us more about the physical, the mental, and the performance transitions or transformations that you've had.
So yeah, physically, I can tell you, I mean, I'm starting to see definition in my chest. I see size in my shoulders and in my back. I'm achieving those things that add to your posture that instantly give you confidence to walk around and be proud of how you look. Um, so that's really great. Confidence wise, again, not only the posture, but the fact that I feel like I'm not living healthy because you're instructing me to do so. You're teaching me how to make these healthy decisions on my own. I've incorporated the way that I cook, the way that I eat, activity outside. I've made these 2 mile walks with my dog on a daily basis. Another non-negotiable. The fact that I can do these things without being told what to do is really, really great for my confidence. Mindset, again, the learnings about meditation, breath work have allowed me to be more present with my kids, to not be as reactive emotionally, but to be able to connect with my kids has been great. I mean, the
Just,
benefits I can go on and on. It's been great.
just have the energy to deal with these kids, huh?
They're a lot to keep up with. I remember a time when I needed a ton of breaks for the physical play with all three of them, and to be able to keep up with them all now it's great. It's fantastic.
Having three sons, how has this impacted them? Them getting to see it firsthand? And I guess you just kind of comment on that, but like, is there a difference with the energy that you have now versus before?
Oh, big time. So the programs that I've done in the past have been, hour long, really intense workouts that I wasn't able to keep up with while the kids were home. So I was working out without them in the house. They never really got to see that part of me. With your program, the 30-minute commitment, I can parent while I'm doing my movements and my moves with you, right? So now they get to see me do it. So I'm role modeling the importance of investing in your health, time in your health. But the kids are starting to like participate now. So because it's fun, like we move around a lot. So I got all three kids kind of jumping in. My oldest son Jameson has always been the athlete in the family. He's looking at me a little bit different. We're getting a little competitive during the workouts. My middle son Val, like he's never been an athlete, but the other day he while I was at work, my mom was watching the kids. He took his tablet and filmed himself doing a workout and sent it to me, which was like the coolest thing ever.
Oh,
He put the tablet down, knocked out a couple of pull-ups on the bar, did like 10 push-ups, some squats. And then I think you're inspiring him too because I catch him, my 5-year-old Mark, he's like his coach now. So I'm catching Val, like teaching him how to do the moves. Great. The kids are coming with me on the walks that I talked about. So again, this is great for me, but it's great for them too, because I want to role model the importance of being healthy and invest in that time and energy in your health in a young age so that they can carry these habits into the rest of their life.
wow. Yeah, and for the guys listening, it's like enough equipment that you can do it in like a 5 by 5 space or something really small. It's a bench, it's an aerobic step, it's a yoga mat, it's a set of dumbbells, it's a set of bands, and that's it. That's all you need, and it gets sent to you for free when you sign up.
Yep. Little
Any
gym.
yeah, anything on navigating fatherhood and divorce? Being divorced comes with its own set of challenges. A lot of dads use divorce as like a reason to quit. You use it as fuel. Would anything shift your mindset there?
Yeah, so again, there was the fuel that it gave me at first probably didn't come from a good place. Um, what does fuel me now is being the best father that I can be and the best co-parent because I know that's what's great for my kids. So, you give a lot of relationship advice in the workouts. I've taken the elements of communication and working together from those conversations and helped me co-parent better with my ex-wife. Her and I probably get along better than we did when we get married. I mean, we have a great relationship the way we raise our kids, and I do attribute a lot of that to my new mindset, the things that I learn in these workouts, the overall confidence. Um, Divorce can be really tough, but I'm committed to doing whatever I can for the good of my children. And as hard as it was, I've been able to use all the things that I've learned to build this great relationship with my ex-wife. So, and it's great. Like I mentioned the Disney World trip, we actually took the kids together. So we're able to do things as a family. And I think that's what's best for my children. So it's great.
Yeah, that is awesome that y'all can do that. If you were talking to Brad 2 years ago, what would you tell Brad 2 years ago?
That I would definitely urge him to make the commitment to do this and that the payoff would be amazing. 2 years ago, I wish I could have been there to tell myself that things were going to be so much better 2 years later. You something that stuck with me that you say a lot is what if it's better than you can even possibly imagine? I've learned to look at things optimistically and say what yeah, it could be bad, but it could be really good too. And I think back to the mindset I was in a couple of years ago, and I would love to show old Brad how different it's going to be a couple of years from now, just for added inspiration.
Yeah, I trust, I accept, I let go, I embrace the unknown, knowing that it's all going to work out for the best and sometimes even better than I thought. That's on my wall. I just read it off the wall.
Your version's better, but yeah, I get it.
Is there any big secret to not missing a workout? I mean, making it happen, just logistically, like what's the secret?
So a lot of it is mindset, and I think a lot of people look at workouts as something that you have to fit into the rest of your life. You have your job, you have your family, but a big shift for me is this is a non-negotiable part of my life, and I have to build around this.
Mm,
I'm starting to look at my job and my career and say what's something I can do that fits around my healthy lifestyle, and that's a big jump for me. I've always tried to figure out everything around my job, and now to flip that switch and say, hey, look, this is a non-negotiable for me. How do we fit everything else into the life? I think that's the secret. Being an advocate for your health is not something extra. That's part of your life. That's something you have to do for yourself.
Yeah, and it's weird from my perspective because I've always done this. I've always prioritized my health. I've always spent money on the supplements or the coaching or the training or whatever it was. I've just always prioritized this. But I think psychologically, people have to, guys that want to be happier and want to make a change and want to feel good and want to perform better in all areas of their life, you got to prioritize the health, the workouts, the nutrition. You have to just create the spot, the time, the space, the energy for that. And then trust that it's going to give you some leverage in every other area of your life.
Yes. You know that the oxygen mask airplane story is really cliche now, but you got to remember, especially when you're a father, you can't love, support, and take care of your kids if you don't love, support, and take care of yourself. So the more time we put into ourselves, not only are we role modeling it for the kids, but we're bettering ourselves so that we can be a better dad to our kids.
But they're out there saying, I'm stuck, I'm tired, I don't have time. There's dads and busy guys listening right now. That's great for other people, but I don't think I could do it. That's what they're thinking right now. I mean, how do you shift them? How do you say, look, man, this is doable?
So your program, right? 30
Mhm.
minutes a day at home, no travel time to the gym, no travel back time to the gym, no waiting around for equipment. This is a 30-minute investment that is it's a hard 30 minutes. A 30-minute investment in the morning, you knock out um, and you can get on about your day. You come out of the workouts feeling great. You have a great mindset to knock out your job, to be a great dad, and it's over and done with by 6:30 every morning. Again, that 30 minutes is 30 minutes, but that 30 minutes is everything. That time commitment, it's a small part of your day that gives you so many benefits.
And I really like live 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. At 6:30 a.m., you are energized, you're ready to go for the day, and you get to get the whole day instead of thinking about how I'm not going to work out, which means you're just going to feel like shit. And instead of thinking about that, or I have to work out later, and that's hanging over my head, and should I do it, should I not? And having this conversation about when and how and if. Instead, you just have this feeling of knowing I already did it. It's done. I have the rest of my day to just crush all the other things that I know people already have in their mind to get done anyway, right?
Yep. It's nice to get that out of the way in the morning. I don't always have that benefit. And that another benefit of your program are the recordings so that people who can't do them in the morning, you have the option to do them and fit them into your day however you can.
Then we got a group chat where guys can check in. We have regular fitness testing. Brad has put up some insane cardio numbers, some insane step counts. We do push-up test, and everybody that comes in, Brad, it's like all the scores keep going up the longer they train very consistently. And like there's not as much of a plateau as I
Right.
thought it would be. Like guys are still hitting records, a year, 2 years later.
Oh yeah. And that aspect is great. I mean, you got to track your progress to see how far you've come and like the score is just, when we do these tests, it's amazing to see how far I've come and I know the other guys feel the same way.
Yeah. All right. What does the future hold? You've built something incredible in your life. What's next for you? How does fitness continue to play a role in your life?
So like I said, I'm applying it as I make some decisions about what I'm going to do professionally. And again, for the first time, I'm making my health the top priority and not secondary to these decisions. And it's not just the workouts. I want all the things that are good for me. I want to be able to have a morning routine. I want to have exposure to sunlight. All these things that I've learned are better for me from working with you are now the top priority. So I'm looking forward to settling, not settling, but finding something to do professionally that aligns with everything else in my life that I've really got aligned from working through this program. So that's what I'm doing, man. I'm just going to continue to make it part of life and influence every aspect of it.
Nice. All right, before we wrap this up, there is a restaurant coming back. Are we allowed to mention that yet?
Uh, I don't think so.
All right.
I
Stay
don't think
tuned, guys.
so.
There was a legendary New Orleans restaurant that Brad's a part of that it's making a comeback, and maybe we'll announce this later. But great food. And all right, Brad, thank you so much for hopping on this podcast and sharing your story. Thanks for being the man. It's an honor to have you here. It's an honor to have your ear. Your dedication is what made this group awesome. It is 6:30 a.m. Your workout is complete. Guys, this is how I end every class. And then we put our arms up in the air and we say, I'm the man.
I'm the man.
I'm the man. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Contact me
Thank
if I can help.